Coming up next, Food Finds is going game. We're out to find the birds of a feather that make meals which will send your imagination and your appetite soaring. If you're Cajun crazy, then something called turducken might be your game.
Hi, I'm Sandra Pinckney, and welcome to Food Finds. Today's program is all about birds of a feather, a dream come true for poultry and game lovers, and for those of us who aren't chicken to try things a little bit out of the ordinary. Our first stop takes us to a place in Texas, and if you like things with that Cajun twist, this one's for you.
When you think of Houston, Texas, you probably think of cowboys and cattle country, right? It's easy to forget that this big Texas city is just a few hours from Louisiana Cajun country. One of the best reminders is a tiny specialty meat shop called Laboucherie that just happens to have a Texas-sized following of Cajun food lovers. Here, the Ollier family have found ways to share their family recipes for Cajun poultry dishes with their millions of Houston neighbors.
My husband and I used to drive to Louisiana a lot, to buy these chickens. And we like our own dressings and all that. So I told him, I said, Royce, why don't you learn how to debone some of these chickens, and we'll make our own and freeze them. One night we were sitting around the pool and we had one glass of wine too many. And that is how Laboucherie was born.
That glass of wine led the Olliers to their niche in the Houston specialty food scene. After a 35-year corporate career, the thought of opening a Cajun butcher shop might sound like a wild hare. But this kind of cooking is in Royce Ollier's blood.
We started the company and we chose the name Laboucherie because I'm Cajun, and the French translation of Laboucherie is the butcher shop.
7 years ago, Royce and Patty, along with their two sons, Jason and Barrett, began adapting Ollier family recipes for everything from gumbo to andouille sausage for large-scale production. Even they were surprised to learn that their biggest seller would be their biggest item, a Cajun feast favorite known as turducken. It's a boneless turkey stuffed with a boneless duck and a boneless chicken. But in this case, the name doesn't say it all, because at Laboucherie, in with those succulent meats is the customer's choice of a wide variety of exotic homemade dressings. Anything from cornbread jalapeno, a Texas favorite, to crawfish tails, to shrimp, or sausage jambalaya.
The first one we're going to be doing to mix today is going to be the dirty rice stock. We have in that stock is ground pork and ground gizzards. We make a roux. First you make a roux for any Cajun dish almost. We'll be adding some seasonings and green onions and things like that to it.
The dressings are mixed by hand to make sure the rice and seasonings are well blended. Then the dressings cool. The assembly of a turducken involves a long list of ingredients and a long period of painstaking skilled labor.
First, we're going to start out with the turkey. Want to get about a 15-pound turkey. We find that that's a good size for us.
Jason's work is almost like surgery, removing bones, tendons, fat, anything that would diminish the flavors of the meat and dressing. The result looks like a little turkey suit with no one in it. Next, Jason debones the chicken and duck and sets aside breasts, leg meat, and tenders to go into the turkey. The turducken bakes more like a cake than a roast, so all the fat is removed from the chicken and duck since it won't have a chance to brown. Now, with the birds ready and the dressing cooled to the desired temperature, Brother Barrett takes over.
All right, we take the boneless turkey first. Got our special seasoning that we have, a little mixture of salt, black pepper, and a little cayenne. And it's important to season the bird not too much to where you're going to get hot spots or anything like that, and to season it thoroughly. So the inside of the turkey's been seasoned. The first step is to go ahead and stuff the legs. And now here comes the duck. Put the duck breast on top of the turkey breast, the duck thighs where the turkey thighs are.
The turkey skin is neatly stitched to hold the works together as it cooks.
I always tell my parents that they should have pushed me to be a doctor. because with the stitching that we do it all day long. All right, now that is the ending result. This is a jalapeno stuffed turducken. It has the 3 layers of meat, the 3 layers of dressing. It weighs about 15 pounds.
Whether you're cooking it at home or in the oven at Laboucherie, the 4 hours that the birds spend in the oven is a time of extreme anticipation. The smells of roasting turkey, duck, chicken, and more can build up quite an appetite.
À votre santé.
Laboucherie has turned Houston into a turducken town. But the Olliers may still be this dish's biggest fans.
With the juices flowing through the stuffing while the meats are cooking, gives it really a nice flavor. They really complement each other. It helps keep the turkey meat moist.
Turduckens from Laboucherie are shipped uncooked and frozen. Patty says the birds just taste better being cooked right before serving. And the tantalizing aroma will make your guests think you've done a lot more in the kitchen than just thaw and bake. Whether or not they need to know the truth is up to you. Turduckens from Laboucherie are shipped frozen, and the Ollier family says they're surprisingly easy to prepare. Patty says the most important thing to remember is that the birds are very, very fragile when they're warm, so let them sit a full 45 minutes at least before you carve.